Hey LKY family, this is LKYLUISITO, your crease master, and welcome to another video. And now, this is the beginning of season 41. This will be the first episode of a series of episodes following me during the season, and my first bid was here with the Buffalo Sabres, owned by Bill's Mafia. Now let's move on to the intro for game 1. Now let's get a quick word from UnluckyLucido before the gameplay.
Thank you, Lucky Lucido, for having me. I am Unlucky Lucido, to be the unofficial commentary for this channel. And looking here, we're playing the Sabres versus the Montreal Canadiens. Now let's look at the lineup. For the season opener for the Buffalo Sabres, we have a bunch of guys on roster. Now back to you, Lucky.
Thanks UnluckyLucido for that intro. Moving on to this very first highlight, we get a one-timer right off the face-off, and I had to make the big save. The Montreal Canadiens are breaking into the zone here, and Burry finds the inside of the defense there and tries to go for that big snipe, but a big glove save from yours truly. And moving on to this very last highlight of the period, it's in the last 5 seconds, and I get sniped moving a little too much on the top of my crease. Tough one to let in. And that is the first period. The Montreal Canadiens are winning 1-0, but let's have a quick word from UnluckyLucido.
Thanks, Lucky. The Montreal Canadiens are really outdoing the Buffalo Sabres on the time of attack and possessing that puck. Now let's move on to the second.
Thanks, UnluckyLucido. And moving into the second period here, the Montreal Canadiens try to fool me with that one-timer opportunity and try to shoot far posts, but no dice. Now at the 9-minute and 50-second mark, the Montreal Canadiens are entering the zone. They pass it off to the player there, and I read it but think he was going to cut in. Just a bad read. Now going into the 5-minute mark here, the Montreal Canadiens are really giving us a hard time possessing that puck on our own end. They are cycling, being on that half boards, and they're going for this one-time opportunity with a good cycle game there, but a bigger read. With the very last clip of this period, we're trying to clear the puck for the penalty kill, and we start fumbling the puck. We fail to clear it, as you can see there from green. They get a shot off at the top of the circles, and then the Montreal Canadiens really show off their cycle game there and continue possessing the puck for another 30 seconds, and make the big save just to hold that puck, give us some relief. With the second period being very close, let's get our thoughts from UnluckyLucido.
Thanks, Lucky. Now, with the second period all finished, the Montreal Canadiens and the Buffalo Sabres are really filling each other out, as it is still the season opener. Looking over the stat sheet here, the Montreal Canadiens are still really possessing that puck, making it really hard for the Buffalo Sabres to get any kind of possession or scoring chances. Now let's move on to the third.
Thanks again for that input. Now moving into this third period here, they score a goal off this rebound here, but looking at the instant replay, they actually call goalie interference. Lucky me. With the very next face-off here, they go for that backdoor pass off the face-off, and I have to make the big save. Now fast forwarding through all this cycling, they go for 2 big opportunities there right off the top of the circle, 1 rebound, but big saves. Now going to this very next highlight here, their forward gets the breakaway and actually makes a pretty nice move to get it around me. Tough one. We're on the 5-on-3 with only 17 seconds left, and our green guy decides to dive at the play. That kind of stuff is really irritating for me, and that actually led up to a goal because I gave them that possession when he could have won that puck. With the time winding down, we're trying to get an opportunity at the very end, but that doesn't happen. We end up losing to the Montreal Canadiens 5-0. Now let's move on to game 2. UnluckyLucido, what do you think?
Tough loss for the Buffalo Sabres, but they're playing game 2 against the New Jersey Devils, that they won their season opener. Now let's go into the lineup here, where we are going to have the second line for the Buffalo Sabres. Now let's move on to the first period. On to you, Lucky.
Thanks, UnluckyLucido. Now moving into this first highlight, this one-timer from the point show is a pretty easy read. Now moving on. Moving on to this next highlight here, the New Jersey Devils are trying to hang by the side of the net and go for that backdoor 1T. The first attempt for the backdoor play was not really that successful, but the second attempt here, they get more of a piece of it, but a bigger save by UnluckyLucido. Moving to the 8-minute and 20-second mark, Dip makes a great move towards the inside of that defenseman and buries it backdoor. Nice. Going into this very next highlight here, right off the very next face-off, we get the possession of the puck, we fight for it to the front of the net, and we bury a garbage goal. Very nice. The New Jersey Devils are really looking to make some opportunities and make the lead not as large for us, but I had to make that short side save. Let's move on to the next one. The New Jersey Devils again on the rush, try to go for a backdoor play. I get a pretty good animation, but don't make the save. Pretty good first period from the boys, but let's hear from UnluckyLucido and hear what he has to say.
Thank you, Lucky Lucido. Now, looking over this period here, my thoughts are that Buffalo Sabres could be doing a little bit more. Lucky Lucido's been making some big saves, really keeping them in the game. Now, moving into the stat sheet here, the New Jersey Devils is shooting 6-3 against the Buffalo Sabres and definitely dominated them on time and attack with 2 minutes 49 seconds to 31. Now, let's move on to the second. Hopefully, they can do better than that.
Going to the 10-minute mark of the second period, being our first major highlight, we make a funny save. It went through a bunch of people. Let's move on. A few minutes later in the second, their right winger does a really good job of defending the puck on that half boards. They get a point shot off looking for a tip shot, but just goes straight to me. So yeah, we just iced the puck. So on this very next highlight here, they go for a short side opportunity right off the faceoff, but had to make the big positional save. We are on the power play at this point. We give up a breakaway, and they manage to score it with a bad read from yours truly. Tough goal to let in. The series of bad events continue to happen. I let in this goal right after they finished killing off that penalty kill. Tough one to finish the period. Now hopefully Unlucky Lucito will be kind of kind to me on this period. Now on to you, Unlucky.
Thanks, Lucky Lucito. I'll try to be kind of nice here. The New Jersey Devils are outshooting the Buffalo Sabres 12-6. They have tripled the time on attack. They are really dominating the Buffalo Sabres at this point in time. Lucky Lucito is doing a pretty good job, but could be playing a little bit better. Now let's move on to the third.
Thank you again, Unlucky Lucito, for that input. Now going into this third period here, the New Jersey Devils are looking for that short side shot opportunity, looking if I'm moving too much, but no dice. The Buffalo Sabres are really battling to get that tying goal. We managed to get it by getting a dirty one up close to the goalie. Let's go, boys, let's go. The New Jersey Devils are really looking to regain that lead. The Buffalo Sabres are doing a really great job keeping them outside. The defenseman lets off a shot off the point, but it doesn't go anywhere. The other defenseman gives it a try, but I have to make positional save, panicking a little bit there. Halfway through the third period, we're looking to keep the game close. Lucky Lucito makes the big read for that one-timer, keeping the game 3-3. Now going into the last 5 seconds of this period, the New Jersey Devils will be going into overtime on the power play. That's a little rough for us as we're looking to get the win. Now for our final thoughts from Unlucky Lucito before we head into overtime.
Now going into this overtime here, the Buffalo Sabres need to be taking more shots as they're getting outshot 16-7. Now let's move on to overtime. On to you, Lucky.
Overtime's always a love-hate for me because it's always an epic moment, and this is one of those moments. We score off a rebound. Good win, boys. Now back to you, Unlucky Lucito, and let us know how we did and who we're playing for Game 3.
A really good win for the Buffalo Sabres, but they got a little bit lucky in overtime there. But moving into Game 3, they will be playing the Washington Capitals, who are undefeated, so it's another team that hasn't taken a loss yet. It's going to be the same lineup from Game 2. On to you, Lucky.
Looking at this first period here, not many opportunities as it was a strong defensive first period, but this deflection goes in. Looking at the instant replay, it hit my defenseman's knee and went in. I would have saved it otherwise. That's really rough. So how do we do, Unlucky Lucito?
In my opinion, the Buffalo Sabres are doing a great job compared to the first two games. The Washington Capitals did capitalize on an opportunity there, and it is tough on Lucky Lucito that it was his first shot. Let's move on to the second. On to you, Lucky.
Going into the second period here, this one's a very long clip as we're going to go through a few things here with the Washington Capitals. The Washington Capitals go for the in-slot shot and a one-timer in that slot area. Both of those I read, and then with this point shot coming, it just didn't go my way. Just big rebound, tough goal. With the ensuing face-off here, I'll let you be the judge of whether we win or lose it, but we definitely lose it there at the blue line. Their forward takes a shot and we block it, and then I have to make the positional save there on the top of my crease. Just after the 14-minute mark, we're trying to enter into the zone here, getting that possession, and then blue looks for that amazing pass to red. Their goalie misreads that, and we score that garbage goal. Nice. Now at the 2-minute and 30-second mark, their forward decides to just give it a big whap. No go. Being tied 2-2 at the very end of the second period, Washington actually makes a pretty creative play that I thought I read but couldn't make the save. Unlucky Lucito, how do you think we did, and what do you expect in the third period?
Both the Washington Capitals and the Buffalo Sabres are playing great. The first two periods were two very strong periods, but the Washington Capitals are edging out the Buffalo Sabres. Well, let's expect the third period to Buffalo to really push back. On to you, Lucky.
And just like that, Buffalo Sabres have tied the game 3-3. Let's go. Zooming right into this very next highlight, Washington Capitals goes for that 1T play in that high slot from the hash marks, and I make the big save. These highlights are going to come fast and furious. Washington Capitals goes for that slap shot on the short side, but no dice. With the third period winding down, Smitty chooses to make the smart play and just go back into our end just to kill the clock. Now let's go straight to overtime. On to you, Unlucky.
Thanks, Lucky. The Washington Capitals and the Buffalo Sabres are tied 3-3. This was kind of expected, I think, because of the game being so close. It's really going to take a very bad opportunity or a mistake, but the Washington Capitals are stretching their time on attack, but I think Buffalo will win this one. Moving on to overtime. Back to you, Lucky.
2 overtime games in one night. What a treat for you guys. Moving into this overtime, they're just using the outside boards and the blue line. I make the read to be very aggressive on that blue line to make that save. No tips here. Now at the 7-minute mark, overtime is really starting to settle in on the boys. The fatigue from 3 games is really starting to settle in, and we make that blue line mistake there. I make the huge read to make that backdoor save, keeping this game into overtime. Let's go. We're in the last few minutes of this period here, but let's loosen into Lucky Lucito and see what happens next.
Yes, let's go! Yeah!
And there we have it. We won it in overtime against the Washington Capitals. Thank you, LKYLUISITO, for that commentary, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you do like this content. We will be getting more episodes in as the season comes along, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care.